Oh my goodness. Is it really you? This is unbelievable.
Right?
Hi, Demola. Can you tell me, is it Demola or Demola?
The first one.
Demola. I love that. Okay. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Oh,
I'm good. A lot of people say Demola. A lot of people say Demola. However people pronounce it. I don't expect people to get the accent, but the
right.
pose itself, it's alright.
Yes.
Hello.
Okay. It's
Oh,
Demola.
yeah. It's actually pronounced as Demola, but Demola,
Demola. Say that. Say that again. Say that again. Say that. Say it
more like
again.
more like you're doing me, Demola.
Demola. Okay. All
The
right. Demola. I got it. Okay. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with the incredibly talented Demola, the violinist. Demola's music brings to life a wide array of musical genres, including afro-beats, reggae, hip-hop, and R&B. He's a self-taught musician, with his main instrument being the violin. Demola's musical journey began in Lagos, Nigeria, where he was born. In 2013, he moved to the United States to continue making music and has been captivating audiences ever since. He has taken the time in between his One in a Million tour schedule to talk to us about how he got started and his current projects. Demola, welcome to our program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, now you started playing the violin in church as a teen. Can you give us some insight into how this shaped your journey into the superstar you are today? When did you
Uh,
decide you wanted to professionally make music?
okay, so as a kid, I actually wanted to always be an artist. I wanted to be an entertainer. I watched you know, my parents were very strong music loving, listening to every genre of music from reggae dancehall. My mom was a reggae head when it comes to reggae. My mom, that's where I got the whole reggae dancehall still from.
Yeah.
Listen to Jimmy Cliff, listen to, Peter Touch, listen to everybody, and then she put me onto it. And of course, reggae in the 90s was heavy. So I grew up dancing to reggae as a toddler.
Oh,
Yeah. Then we had African artists who started doing reggae. You had Majek Fashek, who was actually very iconic, and you have the Raskimonos. And my mom also, put me on to gospel music and every other genre of music. But my dad was heavy on hip hop, jazz music, and Afrobeats. That's African music. So it was a combination of both. I wake up this morning, I'm listening to this. I wake up, I'm listening to that. And that shaped my musical, journey. I've always wanted to be an artist. But you know how it is in Africa. I want to be an entertainer. They're like, no, you got to be a doctor.
right.
And being that sciences, I was a smart kid. So I was like, okay, cool. I mean, I saw myself in that light and I liked it nonetheless. But at a very early age, I used to entertain, when kids are around, I would sing and dance. I would just off and I have my brother play the drums and we'd dance together. So me and my brother grew up doing stuff together. So in our teenage days, when he started playing piano in church, he wanted me to play classical music alongside with him. And I did not really like the violin. I didn't like the violin. I didn't like the sound. I didn't like how people played it. I didn't like what they played. So he would always play that to me for me to always listen. And I'm like, nah. So one of these days he did a concert. They did a concert in church and he performed. And he got into a fight with me and was like, yo, you're the only person in the family who is not participating. Your sister is singing, your brother is playing the piano. You just want to just do science and just hang around with your friends. And it's in, radio music. And I'm like, yeah, I don't care. And so we got into this argument, which was one of the first major arguments my mom would ever witness me and my brother get into. And then he kept me mindless for like 3 weeks. And after that, my mom was like, you know what, I need you guys to be fine. So go into the church and go pick up the violin, whether or not you like it. At least just make, peace with your brother. So I went to the church, picked up the violin, tried to figure my way around it. And I started, listening and trying to figure out how to, pick out my notes and music. And over time, I wanted to, because I'm somebody who, if I want to do something, I like to do well. So I was like, I'm not just going to pick this. At least when he comes, I want to show him that I can play what I heard on radio.
Right. You play by ear.
Yeah, I actually, the first time I picked up the violin, I played by ear, but I read music, I write music, I compose music right now. So over time when I started playing the violin, I started learning how to read music, and I think it was like the same 2 weeks because we had tutors. There was no way I would be able to, play classical music to the high extent where I played classical music without being able to read. So I read music, over time. And the first few days, it was more like me trying to just impress my friends.
Music coming out of Africa has received heightened interest recently, particularly in regions with African roots like the Caribbean. The roots of Caribbean music have a shared history with African musical traditions, and your music also takes the tones and intensity of afro-beats and fuses it with elements of reggae and reggaeton. Do you think those in the Caribbean enjoy your music not only because it is good, but also because the beats are relatable?
Yeah, it's familiar language. Growing up with such influence, for me, it's not like a strange language. Once I hear dancehall, it's like, yo, that's my language. Yeah.
You're set to release a vocal album this year, and the lead single is the One in a Million
Yes.
that has been released, right? That has already been released. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful song.
It
Love
was
it.
on February 14th this year. And that's
Mm-hmm.
really on tour because that's the lead single from the album. And then I released the second single in May. It's called Mbappe.
Oh,
Mbappe,
okay.
yeah, Mbappe is really Afrobeat fusion with pop and Amapiano. Amapiano is a style of a genre of music from South Africa.
From
So
South Africa.
it's a fusion of Amapiano, pop, and Afrobeat, and it's something that keeps you on your feet dancing. And the title of the song is Mbappe, which is the name of the youngest striker who scored an hat-trick in the World Cup. It's just using a metaphor for, just kind of promoting Africa, basically. He's
Mhm.
years old, one of the richest and one of the youngest, and very, very, very good soccer player. And so I just used his name in the song and just to push Africa. That basically. So yeah, I'm dropping a vocal violin fusion album. So it's you listening to me sing and hearing me play, just like your George Benson when
Playing.
he
Yeah.
played Give Me the Night by George Benson, for example, funk R&B,
Okay.
and playing guitar solo, something like that. Listen to Fela Kuti when he sings and he plays, that's what.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I kind of dance. I've always been dancing, but it was not like I'm not like a professional dancer. But it's just
I've seen you dancing. I've seen your videos. Okay, I think
yeah,
you're pretty good. Will you be playing at any destinations in the Caribbean or
yeah,
even in South Florida? Are you coming to South Florida anytime soon?
yeah. We're planning. We're actually working on South Florida as we speak. We're trying to finalize a venue and get things going. We're working on venues basically. That's one thing about touring is time, scheduling, availability, fan base. And we're also planning to come to Jamaica, planning to come to Trinidad, and these other
Yeah.
islands. So we're working on that, and that'll be for 2024 because of my schedule for this year. It's kind of really very packed and tight. But if anything changes, definitely going to be announcing. Right now, we're doing the we're doing US, we're doing some parts of Europe. More cities are gonna be added.
Yeah.
There's a booking agent are working on it. Just trying to make sure that we reach everyone. So definitely we're coming to South Florida soon. As soon as we have things finalized, and of course Jamaica. I was just in Jamaica.
You
Um,
were.
yeah, I was just in Jamaica. I've been to Jamaica like twice this year to perform, but this time around I'm coming my headlining concert. And we're working on that too.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, would you say that your favorite instrument is the violin? You do play a lot of other instruments,
Yes.
I understand, but what is your favorite instrument?
Yeah, my favorite
One.
instrument is the violin. Anything besides the violin, I don't know. Of them must follow the same class, right? But now violin for me, violin is it, violin, viola, like British. Then piano, guitar, bass, drums, all of them are just on the same level.
Oh, I just love your rendition of all these songs, you do
I,
a great job of it. Yeah, especially reggae.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and recently that Tina Turner, oh, it's got a lot of views.
Right. But
Yeah.
most times when I just record the song, I just record it, I just put it out and just go about my day. And then I'm like, people are sharing, it's going viral. I'm like, what happened? I'm like, okay, people love this. All right, cool. Typically.
So what advice do you have for young aspiring musicians
Yeah.
that want to do what you're doing?
And it's the advice I have for them is just be yourself, um, study the greats, you know,
Study the greats.
study the greats, listen to the greats, see what they do, learn from them, and be yourself, create your path. I noticed that this new generation want everything fast.
Yeah.
I'm young too, but when I see the younger ones, I'd be like, yeah, they want
Okay.
everything fast. They want to just pick up the instrument and they want to come on social media and start playing. And it's not to discourage people, but before I eventually had my first social media post, whatever, I had worked myself to that level. I had actually toured with jazz musicians. I was the youngest. I don't know if you know, I'm the official violinist for 2020. I was the youngest. I'm the youngest in the band. I was the youngest, whatever. While I was still doing my violin stuff, I was touring with them. So you got to learn the art first before you
Yes.
showcase the art. People want to skip the learning the art. They want to showcase while they are learning.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Do you have your violin close by that you could play something for us real quickly?
And that was why I got late on it, because what happened was I'm actually, I got home and I was like, I'm gonna set everything up home, but I have my instrument in my tour van.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay, now,
Oh,
where can our viewers find you online?
oh yeah, you can find me on Instagram, of course. Instagram. There's this new app called Insta Thread now. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all those social media platforms at Demola at DEMOLAVIOLINIST, Demola Violinist. Goes on YouTube as Demola. Yeah, and you can find me on tour. So
Okay, okay. I have another question for you. What is your relationship with Matthew Knowles?
oh yeah, Matthew Knowles used to be I was in 2018, I was signed to Matthew Knowles record label. Before he closed down his record label, I was the last artist that was signed to his record label. He was my manager at that point in time, before we went our separate ways in 2019. So I was in the label for like over a year, for a little bit before
Oh,
he
okay, okay.
yeah, yeah, he had like a breast cancer at a point. He had breast
Oh,
cancer. I don't know, he
oh,
was very public about it and talking about, male breast cancer, and his focus was on that. And so after a while, he had to close down the label, and and that's it. And then I just moved on with my life and been independent all this time.
yes, yes. You have a lot going on. We all love you. And I really appreciate this interview. I really do. I saw that you were going on tour, and I was just hoping that you would come to South Florida. So hopefully soon, next year.
I mean, actually, we're working on something for this year.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as we have everything. I mean, as soon as we have, I'm gonna let you know. I'll send you an email.
Thank you, Demola.
Well,
It was my pleasure speaking with you. Thank you for the interview.
thank you, Jeanette.
Take care now. All the best to you, all right? Bye-bye. Thanks.
Goodbye.